Hey, Ellie, I'm going to take my daughter over to your house, so make sure to take good care of her. Ellie, could you please answer me when I text you? Sorry, I was getting ready to leave and left my phone in the other room. What do you mean you're bringing Julia over to my house? Well, I had no idea about this, but apparently she doesn't have school today. Because it's the school's 50th anniversary after its establishment. She's saying that she needs lunch. But I've already scheduled lunch with the girls. You know what I'm trying to say. No, I really don't. Well, I've been longing for this day for a really long time. I mean, who wouldn't? It's a buffet with cake and all kinds of sweets. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to take my daughter out for lunch and look after her until I come back. I'm sorry for not being able to help, but I have a shift at work in an hour. So I won't be able to look after Julia today. What? Well, that's too bad, because I already sent Julia on her way to your house. What? I am telling you, I can't look after her for today. I am literally about to leave. You say work, but it's literally a part-time job, isn't it? It's not like you're going to keep that job forever, so you shouldn't feel bothered about taking a day off. I need to go because my contributions to the family savings are necessary to keep up with the level of living that we currently have. But you don't even have kids to feed! Haven't you heard from your brother that he moved jobs quite recently? He's starting as an entry-level employee, so his salary has gone down since his last job. But that doesn't change the fact that you two don't have kids, right? I'm sure you don't spend nearly as much as I do having to feed my kids. Look, I'm sure you could manage to take one tiny day off of your low-paying job. It's not just the money. If I suddenly take a day off out of nowhere, then it might ruin my image from my boss and colleagues. Seriously? I'm starting to feel bad for you, honey. You have to act like a goody two-shoes at your own workplace? I'd suffocate if I were ever to have to work at a place like that. I mean, not that I'd ever know how you feel since I married an elite engineer at a mega tech company. If you feel bad for me, then it would really help for you not to leave your child over at our house so often. Why are you getting so worked up? Do you hate Julia or something? Of course not. Julia is an amazing girl. Then why are you complaining? I'm just letting my infertile sister-in-law have a taste of what it's like to raise a child, since she can't have one of her own. This is all out of the kindness of my heart. Why don't you show a little more appreciation for my efforts to make you feel better about yourself? Wow. And I don't want to be the one to tell you this, but you really did let our family down when we found out that you couldn't have kids. I mean, George is the only boy in the family, so he would have been our only hope to continue our bloodline. But thanks to you, he failed his mission. So I'm letting you prove your worth to the family by giving you a job. Be grateful. Such a useless wife. I feel so bad for poor George. We both know that you're just using me to your advantage because you don't want to do the work yourself. Oh, please. Look, as I said at the beginning of this conversation, I can't take care of Julia today. So just call her back to your house. No can do. I've sent her over and that's final. I'm right about to step out of the door, so she won't be able to unlock the door until I come home. Take good care of her. How could you be so irresponsible? Wouldn't it be irresponsible to abandon your niece and leave for work? Which is more important, your niece or your job? It's not a matter of which is more important to me. Before even discussing anything, she's your own daughter, isn't she? Then take responsibility for the life that you created yourself. My husband is out on a business trip right now. I'm taking care of my daughter all by myself. Can't I go on a little lunch break and have a little bit of fun with my friends? I wouldn't mind at all if it were once in a few months. You send Julia to our house without notice 2 or 3 times every month. If I could, then I would send her over every week. You know, I don't get much alone time when my husband is in town, so it's my chance to have quality time by myself. Julia is always bothering me and chains me down from having my alone time. Seriously? Even if that thought came to your mind, you shouldn't say that aloud as a mother. Is it really my fault that I'm tired of her, though? Even my own mother-in-law became cold all of a sudden when she found out that my baby was going to be a girl and not a boy. She left in the middle of the gender reveal. I guess everyone wants a boy so that their bloodline continues on. You haven't told Julia about that story, have you? I'm not that bored. I have more to do than tell stories to my kid. Thank God. But seriously though, ever since that girl was born, all that's changed is that I have more chores to take care of, and that's it. You know, if I'd known that it was going to be a girl, then I probably wouldn't have given birth. If she wasn't here, then I would have tons of time to go out partying like when I was single. I can't believe you just said all of that. How could God ever allow someone like this to become a mother and not me? I think God chose not to make you a mother so that you could babysit my kid. I hope you have fun with Julia. Well then, I'm sure she'll be there soon, so take good care of her. She hasn't eaten lunch yet, so make sure to give her some. Oh, and as a matter of fact, feed her some dinner too. Thanks so much, XOXO. How many times do I have to tell you that I have work today? Well, it's not like I can change my plans this suddenly. I'll text you when I'm coming home, so make sure to take Julia home by then, all right? Well then, see you. Wait, Haley! George! Haley did it again. She just sent Julia over and left.
What's the problem with that?
You know that I have work today. And she won't even read my texts or answer my calls, so I think she has me on mute right now. Could you please call her and convince her?
Convince her to what? If she had to make Julia come over, then wouldn't that mean that she had a valid reason to do so?
I mean, if you consider lunch with her friends as a valid reason.
Haley's been really busy taking care of her house and raising Julia. Why don't you cooperate a little and just let her have some fun once in a while?
Really? Once in a while? She's been sending her child over to us without notice over and over again for the past few months. I get that we all need a break once in a while, but that doesn't mean that she gets to disregard our needs whenever she wants.
2 or 3 times a month counts as once in a while. And you can't give birth to a child of our own anyways. You'd never understand how difficult it is to do her job as a mother. So why don't you cooperate a little and take some weight off of her shoulders?
All right. Then why don't you take a day off from work and come take care of her?
Are you dumb or something? I'm taking care of an infertile, useless wife like you. I'm working a job that I don't even like for you. If you want to talk back to me, then I suggest that you do so after you start earning more than me with your part-time job.
The only reason that I can't make more money than I already do is because you want to qualify for the dependency deduction policy. If you would allow me to, then I would be making more by now.
Yeah. You can make all the excuses that you want. That doesn't change the fact that you'll never make more money than me. As a matter of fact, since you can't even give birth, the only way that you can make yourself useful is to do the work around the house.
Oh, so that's all I am to you? Seriously?
If you haven't noticed by now, I've been going through a lot after changing jobs. I don't have time for your nonsense. So why don't you solve some of your own problems on your own? I'm sure even your useless self would be able to do it.
Why do you have to word it like that?
Whatever. I don't have time for you. Just do whatever Haley's asking you to do. Think of it as my sister blessing you with an opportunity to get to feel like you're raising a child of your own.
You sound exactly like your sister right now.
That's great. I have to get back to work, so don't contact me until I tell you to. And also, excessive complaining is one of the top reasons for divorce, so watch out. You barely make any money with your job right now, and you don't have any savings. On top of that, you can't even have kids. No guy would want you, and you wouldn't be able to sustain yourself. So watch your mouth when you talk to me.
How could you say that to your own wife?
The only reason you're still my wife is because you're obedient. So I suggest that you shut your mouth and listen to my sister. Or else I'm gonna lose any reason to keep you around. Besides, Julia's a very common, unproblematic kid. You probably won't even notice that she's there.
But
I'm done with this conversation.
why won't you bother to listen to me? I had to tell my boss that I couldn't show up last week, too. I'll lose my job if I keep doing this. George? Hey, Ellie, what are your plans for the 15th to the 22nd of next month? I just have work like always. Wait, you have work for the whole week? Wow, I could never work like a slave like that. I don't have to go every day, but I still have to show up for a couple extra days to make up for the days I took off to look after your daughter. See, I told you that you could make it work. Well then, I guess that means that you'll be able to make things work for next month too then. What do you mean by make things work? The truth is, I'm gonna go on a family trip with my parents and my brother. A family trip? Yup, we're going overseas. I just finished renewing my passport today. Wait, then why can't you just take your daughter with you? Why would I take my daughter on the family trip? What do you mean? My family is me, my brother, and my parents. No one else counts as family. What? But she's your own daughter. We can't take a kid everywhere we go. Besides, I want to go to bars and parties during the night. And how am I going to hook up with anyone if there's a kid with me? I'm way too young and good-looking for guys to leave alone. That's your reason for leaving your daughter behind with me? What do you think your husband is going to say about that? It doesn't matter. He's always away on business trips anyway. I just tell him that you're constantly asking me if you can have Julia over. Since, you know, you can't have children of your own. Why would you lie about that? Thanks to my explanation, my husband doesn't have a doubt in his mind that Julia always stays over at your place out of mutual agreement. But I've never begged you to let me have Julia over before. So, you know, you should really fix your attitude. You'd never understand how it feels to be a mother anyway. The only way that you can make yourself worth anything is to work for me. So I suggest that you do that. The only way to make myself worth anything? It's already been decided that we're going on the trip. So just give up and be prepared to take care of her for a week. Whatever. Fine. I'll be sure to prepare really well for that. We're about to go to the airport in George's car. I sent Julia on her way to your house, so take good care of her. I mean, George would throw you right away if you don't, so it's not like you have a choice. I never would have expected my brother marrying an infertile woman to be this useful. There's no need for him to throw me away. I've already divorced him. What? What do you mean you've already divorced him? I turned in the necessary papers, so now we're officially divorced. I haven't felt this free in so long. I don't understand. George is saying that he has no idea what you're talking about. He's been using a signed divorce paper to blackmail me into doing what he wants me to. The same thing has been going on for a while, and it was starting to get annoying. So I just signed my part of the papers and turned them in. That doesn't count. He was just joking. Since when do people sign divorce papers as a joke? And no matter what you say it is, if you sign an official paper, then it automatically possesses power. I wanted to get the divorce done anyway, so I don't think there's an issue at all. So what if you do get divorced? You're just a useless part-time worker who doesn't have money or any skills. You wouldn't make it through a single month without George. I'll be fine. I was just officially hired full-time by the place that I was working part-time at. Wait, full time? You got a job? Yep. I've already finished moving out of the house thanks to the tiny amount of savings that I had left. I'll be living in the company's dorm from now on, so your brother won't ever have to see me anymore. I have a job and my own place now, so I don't need him anymore. I mean, the legal procedures are complete, so we're legally strangers anyway. Wait, you already left your house? Then who's gonna look after Julia while I'm gone? You don't have to worry one bit about Julia. She's meeting up with someone who can take way better care of her than a complete stranger like me. Right about now. She doesn't have any family nearby other than you. Of course she does. Someone who cares about her well-being more than you ever could. You know, the one last family member that isn't with you right now. You're bluffing. There's no way. That one last person is somewhere in Asia right now. There's no way he could just fly back here. In fact, he already told me that he wasn't coming back home until the end of this month. Well, I guess there was a change in plans because he told me that he took a paid leave and flew back here. What? But he never told me anything about that. Do you think you can just make him come back because you can't take care of Julia? How irresponsible are you? Me? Through the eyes of anyone who has a normal thought process, you're obviously the one who's irresponsible here. I'm not irresponsible. Well, I think your husband disagrees with you. Deeply. What's that supposed to mean? Well, I explained every single detail about what's been happening between us regarding Julia to your husband. Like, every single detail? Yep. Wait, how on earth do you know my husband's number? Remember the New Year's party that we had with the whole family? Yeah. Well, I asked him for his contact details during that party. You know, since I'd been looking after Julia for quite a while. I just thought that it would be good to have both of your contacts in case there was any type of emergency. At the time, I thought that your husband was just the same as you and your brother, and that he was fine with making me take care of your daughter as a way to patronize me for being infertile. But after you told me that he didn't know that I was being forced to do this, I decided to take a chance and reach out to him, to tell him what was really going on. Wait, so how much does he know? Everything there is to know. The fact that I'm not willingly taking care of his daughter, and that you've been forcing me to do your job as a mother, even on days when I should really be at work. I also told him in great detail about how you, your mother, and your brother have changed completely after finding out that I won't be able to have kids. The way that you all would use me like a maid, saying that that's the only thing I'm good for? You're joking. Nope. And I got a very long and sincere apology from him after telling him all of this. He apologized for believing everything that you told him instead of making sure for himself. My husband apologized to you? Yep. And after I told him that I'd made dinner for Julia many times but hadn't received any money for it, he handed me a pretty large sum of money, saying that it was for any unpaid compensation and expenses. What? He shouldn't be paying a single penny to you. The money that he earns belongs to our family. Give it back. Why don't you tell that to your husband? I'm sure the two of you will be having a long talk about money after this. I've heard that figuring out the whole thing about child support can be a hassle. Wait, what do you mean, child support? Well, I mean, you have children and you're getting divorced, so there will be some child support that you're going to have to pay. Divorce? What do you mean, divorce? This is your fault. My husband divorced me and took my child. He took everything from me. He's even saying that I'll have to pay him child support. What are you gonna do about this? He was the best option that I was ever going to find. What do you mean it's my fault? It sounds like all of this is the result of your own actions. Shut up. I've already told George, so he's going to have a long talk with you about this. I I mean, I would love to have a long talk with George, but I've already blocked him, so that won't be happening. Wait, you blocked him? Yep. I just thought it would be easier for me to have my lawyer do everything. So I just sent him my lawyer's number and blocked him after that. Even though the divorce is done, we still have to discuss terms about how to divide the assets that we own and things like that. Besides, I'll be suing him for all of the verbal and mental harassment that he's dealt me about being infertile. So I'm gonna need a lawyer anyways. Wait, do you seriously think that you're in a place to be suing other people? Because you're dead wrong. We should be suing you, if anything. Well, I'm suing you along with your brother. Why? Do you not remember the countless times that you made me go through physical labor against my will? What physical labor? The physical labor of taking care of your daughter while you were out having fun. I'm not sure about how much I'll be able to get from you on this, but no one's getting away unbothered. Do you know what you're doing? I might get divorced from my husband. I won't be able to pay anything. Everything was going perfectly until you ruined it. Your own actions are what took away the trust that you once had from your husband. And I can say that with confidence because I can tell how deeply your husband loves your daughter, unlike you. What am I supposed to do now? I finally found someone who earns tons of money and isn't home most of the time. He was perfect. He told me that he was going to have you pay him back. Pay him back what? All of the money that you spent for yourself when it was really meant for Julia. Oh no, please stop him. Why? Well, I kind of lied about some of the expenses that I said were for Julia's school clubs and other fees, and I used it to go out for lunch and buy things for myself. Great, I'll be sending a screenshot of what you just said to your husband. No! Wait, I'm just kidding! You told him that she was on the soccer team, volleyball team, swim team, and chess club, right? I can't wait until he finds out that Julia's only on the chess club, and that she never needed equipment for any sport. You took pictures of her during tryouts for those teams, and you're still using those pictures to lie, right? He's saying that he'll take every single cent and every single lie into account, and figure out how much he'll be suing you for. But my perfect plan! Look, I'm sure every parent has their ups and downs. But it's just wrong to see you use your own child to your advantage to get some extra money. That's just not acceptable. I'll be handing our whole conversation to your husband, so be prepared. Wait, please! Aren't you my older sister? I'm begging you, don't make things worse. Ellie, I can't go on a trip like this! Haley and her husband ended up getting divorced as warned, and as you could probably have guessed, her husband got the rights to Julia. After finishing the legal process, I heard that Julia moved to another country with her father. As announced, I sued my ex-husband and his sister for compensation. They both ended up losing against me and tried to rely on their parents for money. But they just ended up getting ridiculed by their parents and kicked out of their house. I guess I know where they got their amazing personalities from now. As of right now, I don't know or care about what the two are doing or where they are. Hi, Brooke. Thank you for sending me this present for my wedding. But is this... well, is what's inside this box supposed to be for someone else?
Huh? Why would you think it's for someone else besides you? That's the perfume I spent hours searching for that I knew matched your style perfectly. Man, it's so interesting to think that even though my brother won the men's beauty contest in college, he's chosen to get married to someone as ugly as you. I just don't get it. So that's why I went out and got you a perfume that is quite expensive. Because if it isn't for you trying on things like that perfume, you'd be ugly forever.
So you're telling me this is to help me become a better looking and smelling woman? You want me to become a wife more fit for someone like Ben then, right?
That's what I'm getting at. So that's why I'd like you to use that perfume every day, okay? I've made sure to spend days researching that perfume so that you'll be at least a little bit more like my brother.
I'm really happy that you went out and got me something like this, but this kind of perfume is something that, well, I'm not sure how to say it.
Well, with how nasty you look, I had to take desperate measures in order to make you at least decent. And having a perfume like that will at least make you smell better than those that don't look at you directly. And it might help your skin a little, who knows?
Huh?
I'm just saying that drastic measures have to be taken in order to fight your ugly side. That kind of perfume is for people that are just getting into using perfume, so it's meant to smell extra strong in order to hide the underlying appearance.
But this is supposed to be a present to congratulate my marriage, right? I'm not trying to recommend how much someone should spend on a gift for me or anything like that, but you really meant to send me a gift that's just a $1 perfume from a little girl's store?
Huh? What's up with that reaction? Are you trying to say you're not happy with what I got you? Unlike you, I'm a very good-looking woman, and I have to spend a ton on makeup and stuff like that. I'm at the point now where every month I'm spending around a couple grand on beauty products.
You're telling me you use things like this every month?
Well, I'm a good-looking woman, so I have to. When you're as good-looking as I am, you have a standard to uphold, which requires lots and lots of attention. And so, with my experience and all that stuff, I went out of my way to find you something that would really help your appearance. That present cost me $1, so please stop trying to talk to me like I wasted my money on you.
I'm sorry about that, Brooke. I didn't realize that something like this took so much time out of your day and everything.
Well, now that you know, your ugly butt can start spraying that crap on yourself to help you at least smell better. I think something like that really will work wonders on you. I put a lot of thought into that gift, so make sure you use it all up while thinking of me.
Hey, Ben, it turns out that the present your sister sent me in the mail wasn't a mistake after all. She told me that it's meant for me to use from now on as to not cause you any embarrassment. And she kept making it very clear that this $1 perfume is perfect for someone with my looks.
You have to be kidding me. Brooke really said things like that to you about that gift?
Well, now that we know about this, what should we do? Half of $1 is only 50 cents. I know that we should both be giving something to her in return for this, but half a dollar isn't much to work with. Maybe a couple pieces of gum or something would be enough?
No. We don't even have to bother giving her anything in return if she's going to be that petty. She doesn't deserve anything in return after that. And I'm sorry that my sister thought that giving you such a rude present was a good idea.
No worries, I'm not upset about it. I know that to her, she sees you as someone she can brag to everyone about and that you're the #1 most important person to her. So I think she's just trying to make sure that your wife will be as beautiful as she wants her to be. And compared to a beauty like her, I'm not really anything special to get people talking about.
What are you talking about? You're so beautiful, Sadie. I get that my sister is a bit of a standout when it comes to her beauty, but her personality is a bit trash. And when you add that in, she comes out to be nothing more than an ugly woman herself. I get that her looks score her 100, but when you take into account what she holds inside, that equals it out to around -1.
You're being a bit harsh about her, aren't you? I understand that her personality is a bit much, but she does seem to know a lot about beauty products. She's told me that she's spending a couple grand on things like that every month for herself. That's insane. She's put a whole lot of effort into keeping herself looking top-notch, and so I can see why she's a bit rough to a plain Jane like me.
Huh? What are you talking about, Sadie? There's no way my sister is spending that kind of money on beauty products every month, right? She just happens to look naturally that pretty, and she doesn't even have a job to afford 2 grand's worth of products.
She's not even working right now? Last time I spoke to her in person, she told me she was working for your parents' company, correct?
And right after she said that to you, she was fired from that job. She has a real good complexion, and also my parents thought that they could use her to work for them. But that just doesn't seem to be the case. From what I've been told, all she did at work was go to the women's bathroom and stare in the mirror the whole day. Not only that, but her personality was a huge problem for everyone there. She'd always try to pick fights with other women in the office over their looks, and it led to her being fired in the end.
Really? I never knew that.
I'm sure she's just trying to make herself look good in front of everyone. But she doesn't have any money, Sadie. And that's why she couldn't afford anything more than a cheap bottle of perfume for you.
She told me she was spending so much every month just on beauty products, though.
I'm really sorry that my little sister is such a piece of trash. So from now on, if she does anything else that upsets you, let me know, and I'll handle it. I can get her to bow down to me with a snap of my fingers.
Thank you, Ben. Well, for the time being, I'll use this perfume she's given to me as a way of showing her I'm happy to have it. Besides, a lot of people have been saying online that this brand is actually quite good.
Hey, Sadie, are you really planning on giving a wedding now? I can't even begin to see someone like you getting into a wedding dress and walking on stage for something like that.
Did something strange happen to make you say something like that? I mean, you already knew that I married your brother, so why would it make it wrong for me to have a wedding now for everyone to come see?
And true, normally a couple would give a wedding after getting married, but that's not the case when it comes to ugly women like you. That's a huge problem, if anything. Unlike me, who could give a wedding any day of the week, you are so plain and disgusting that there's just no way it'll go over well for you.
Huh?
You actually think that with a face like that, you can get into a wedding dress and everything will look alright? Dressmakers are only making those dresses for people as beautiful as me to wear.
But I've been wanting to have a wedding ever since I was a little girl in elementary school.
Really?
I plan to go out looking soon for some dresses that will match my looks and then have that dress prepared for my big day. If you have the time to, do you want to come along with me searching for the right dress? I'm sure that with you helping me out, we can find a dress that'll help me look even more attractive.
No way in hell. Something like that could never be found by anyone because those kinds of dresses don't exist. So you need to have that wedding canceled. Canceled. Nobody wants to come to a wedding for some ugly chick who can't even look good in her dress, right? If anything, all you're going to do is make some terrible memories for everyone, including yourself. So stop all of this before it gets out of hand.
But Ben has already told me that he's looking forward to seeing me in the dress I choose to show him.
Jeez, what the hell has gotten into my brother lately that's making him think something as ridiculous as that? All of his past girlfriends were so good looking that they could even compete with me. Yet when he came to our house telling us he was going out with some ugly chick, I freaked out. And now you two are married? And he's even saying he wants to see you in a wedding dress? I bet you've been putting something in his food every day that's making him be this sickeningly in love with you.
I'm not doing anything to him.
Well, whatever. If you both are so badly blinded by the dream of having that wedding, then I'll have to step in to help you all cancel it. I'm glad I already had that first conversation with the reception hall about your wedding.
What do you mean you're going to cancel our wedding? And what did you talk about with the reception hall already?
I asked them to have your guys' wedding canceled. And so I'm happy to tell you that your wedding is now canceled. Nobody should have to be forced to come see some ugly loser in a wedding dress like you tried to do to them.
What? You're just telling a joke now, right? You surely couldn't have called that place without talking to either me or your brother first and canceled our wedding, right?
Oh, I did though. I just got off the phone with them a little bit ago. I told them that you no longer wanted to marry my brother and to have the wedding canceled, please. I made it clear to them that you didn't want to get married because you knew how ugly you'd look in front of everyone, and you didn't want to blind anyone.
That's really messed up, Brooke. Why would you do something like that to your own brother and I?
I did that because I already said you shouldn't be seen in a wedding dress. It would be totally acceptable had the wedding been for my handsome brother and a beautiful woman, but the fact that you look like the underside of a shoe after stepping in dog poop means that the wedding would be a real letdown for everyone there. And I already made sure to tell everyone you invited to the wedding that it's been canceled.
I cannot let you get away with doing something like that. I get that you are a very good-looking young woman and everything, Brooke, and that compared to you, I'm just a plain girl and all. But you have no right using that as your reason to do something behind all our backs that's going to ruin my special day.
I can't believe such an ugly loser is getting so upset over this. I'm laughing my butt off right now. If you have the time to sit here getting all upset with me, then go take a really good look at yourself in the mirror, please. You'll get to see just how little a wedding dress would look good on you. And as far as I can tell, all of those guests you invited are thrilled to hear that your wedding is canceled.
You are so screwed.
Huh?
I have been at my limits for a while with you now, but now you've gotten even Ben all up in arms about this. He was looking forward to this wedding a whole lot more than even I was until he found out what you'd done. The fact that you canceled our wedding like that, all because I wouldn't look good in a wedding dress to you? Well, this spells the end for you, Brooke. Right now, your good-looking brother that you brag so much about is fuming at the ears over what he's learned you've done.
So my brother is with you right now?
Well, we've already gotten married and live together now. You should have already known that we'd start living together after handing in our marriage forms at the courthouse. Well, I'm going to hand the phone over to him now, okay?
Huh?
You freaking idiot. You've really gone and done it to yourself now. This time, you've really done it by going out of your way to cancel our wedding. Something that has nothing to do with you. What the hell did you think you were doing when you called the reception hall acting as Sadie and canceled our special day? You ugly witch! How are you going to fix this for us now, huh?
Wait a minute, Ben. Why are you getting so upset with me over this, Ben? I canceled that wedding for you. You really wanted people to see your stupid and ugly wife in a wedding dress? If you allowed her to do that in front of everyone you know, she would have made you look like a fool and had everyone hating you. So that's why I believe you guys are better off not having a wedding instead.
Who the hell said my wife is ugly besides you? And who the hell said they don't want to see her in a wedding dress? I'll have you know that it doesn't matter the kind of woman that wears the wedding dress. The point of the dress is to make them all look beautiful and like a princess. And it's the dream of any man to see the woman they love in a wedding dress. Now my dream has been ruined by my own little piece of trash sister. Do you have any idea how much effort I put into this gosh darn wedding? Well, it's all because of you that the $60,000, all my savings, is now gone, and I'll never be able to get it back.
You spent $60,000 on that whole wedding?
Did you think it cost me less than that? This was my chance to show the woman that I love just how much I love her and want to spend the rest of my life with her. That's what us men do for women that mean that much to us. I want to let everyone see how happy the two of us are to be married to one another. Because of that, I put $60,000 into that wedding for not just the two of us, but for everyone to enjoy.
This is all a dream, right? You actually wanted to hand over $60,000 for a wedding to someone like her?
Yet now, after all you've done, that money has gone down the drain. We had already approved of everything, so canceling means that 100% of the cost is still paid to them. Since this is all your fault, I'm going to make sure you pay me every cent of that $60,000 back.
All of that? Wait. How the hell am I going to be able to pay you that kind of money? Why should I have to do that?
Because you're the one that just wasted all of my money. So not only will you be paying me that $60,000, but you'll also be paying me a settlement. Not only did you cause all my money and time to be lost, but you've also made it so I have to go apologize to everyone I plan to have at the wedding for wasting their time saving the date. And then, after all that's done with, I'm going to have a call back to the reception hall and set up a brand new wedding there, start this all over again. And you'll be paying for all of that too.
That's impossible, though. I don't have that kind of money. Just that wedding alone cost you $60,000, but now you want me to pay you a settlement and for your next wedding? There's no way.
You happen to have a very nice face that lots of men would love to have a moment with, right? You brag about it all the time yourself, so you can go out there and find some men that are willing to pay you a pretty penny for your time. It's all been made so easy for you by having such a beautiful face and body. Now go find yourself a nice dress, get out there, become a whore, or an escort for someone.
What is wrong with you, Ben? Why would my own brother be asking me to go out and become a whore?
Shut the hell up, you waste of freaking beauty. And when I say beauty, I only mean your looks, because your personality is rotten garbage. So the only thing a good-looking pile of trash like you can do now is be everyone's little pleasure toy.
Huh?
You happen to be hired into your own family's business, and even they fired you because of how horrible a person you are. And even after your own parents fired you, you still happen to live in the same house with them and haven't found any other work since. The only thing that's left for you to do now is freshen yourself up a bit. Go out with some older man and make his night.
But me being unemployed has nothing to do with this.
Shut up. I bet the real reason you treat my wife like crap all the time is because you being unemployed still. She's almost the same age as you, but she happens to have been working for a very long time already and is set for a promotion to manager this month. You failed so badly at your own life that you've grown jealous of her success. But listen, just because you're a failure doesn't mean you have any right ruining other people's lives. And after what's happened today, I'll never be forgiving you.
What is going on here? Why are you this mad at me? All your cute little sister did was mess around a little with her sister-in-law.
I want you to get out there and start making that money for me any way you know how. Before I cut ties to you, I'll have you pay for every little screw-up you made today.
I can't do this anymore. It's all because of you two that I'm completely embarrassed with myself. Why the hell are you doing this to me?
Why are you so upset about this, Brooke? You should be happy that you were able to cancel our wedding. You were able to get away with faking my voice and having my wedding canceled, wasting all your brother's money.
Huh?
But listen, we talked to the reception hall and they're not going to make us pay for the cancellation. And they even said that they will be willing to put the wedding back on just as we planned, so thank goodness for that, right?
What the hell? That's not good at all. Right now my brother is blowing all of this way out of proportion. I was so afraid of what he'd do to me next that I started to call all my family and friends. I asked them all to help me gather the money I needed to pay him off, but they all told me that I needed to be responsible for that.
Oh, calm down. They only said all of that to scare you. Actually, they are all planning on handing some money to us to pay for your mistakes.
I know that, but now none of them are talking to me anymore, and that's all because of you and Ben.
Really? Everyone? Your parents, your family, your friends? Everyone's cut ties to you?
Yes! I called them all asking for money to help pay back my brother after what happened, and I explained to them all why I did what I did. But when they heard my reason for canceling your guys' wedding, they told me they'd give me some money, but in return for never talking to me again. And they said in the future, if I ever do try looking for them, they'd have the police called on me.
My, well, that must be so soul-crushing for you.
Because of all this stress, I've started to break out in a bad rash all over my face, and it's ruining me. When I woke up this morning, I looked in the mirror and my face was just covered in this rash. What the hell have you both done to my natural beauty?
Wait, you're having that bad of an outbreak now?
I have been using such good beauty products for so long, and I'm still able to break out like this? With this bad of a rash on my face, I can't be seen going anywhere. I'm a good-looking woman, but now I'll have to put on a face mask to hide all of this.
It's kind of frightening that you've broken out like that so badly in such a short amount of time. Are you sure all of those things that you've been using on your skin aren't just fakes?
Huh? Why the hell would all the brand products that I bought turn out to be fake? I've been putting thousands of dollars into all this product, so there's no way it could all be fake. I only use the best kinds of beauty products, and they all cost me a lot of money.
But it's been an ongoing theme online recently. Lots of brand items looking just like the real thing, but are in fact fake. Lots of online shops selling what seems like high-brand goods, like makeup and whatnot, cheap. And most of that stuff ends up being fake, as well as pretty bad for your body.
Huh?
And just like your case, there have been tons of people buying really good products like you, thinking they're the real deal, but ending up with terrible breakouts due to it all being fake. It's really something that's had me worried, but you seem to have done all the hard work for me. Because you tested all of that high-end crap you bought online on yourself, you've only given me cheap things like that perfume you got for $1. And I'll continue to use this cheap product on myself since it seems I'm not fit for such high-end product like you are.
Wait.
This has been all over the news, so I think you're having the same situation happen to you. There have already been people with the same symptoms as you who end up having to go through 2 years of treatments to fix their badly damaged skin. They usually show a before and after picture of the patients, and man, is it amazing what modern healthcare can do to save someone's skin. I can definitely see why you think you'll have to start wearing a mask outside now with a face that badly rashed.
You have got to be lying. I can't afford to pay for 2 years worth of treatments to my skin. For frick's sake.
I should have known this fake product would screw me over one day. This is all due to that badly produced product, and now my skin looks sickening.
Huh? So you really have been using that fake product after all? But didn't you tell me you were spending thousands of dollars a month on that product? You even bragged to me about how beautiful it made your skin and everything. You were looking so beautiful that even I believed you when you said you only used high-quality goods, but really, you've been using cheap, fake garbage all along.
Excuse me? Why are you getting all happy over this?
But wait, didn't you tell me earlier that people with my looks should only be using the cheap stuff? Why have you been using the cheap product as well this whole time? Are you telling me that perhaps I'm the same level of beauty as you now by saying you bought only cheap beauty product? Maybe that's why you've been so happy to brag about the product to me. Because you finally found someone just as ugly as you to share that product with.
Shut the hell up! I really was buying all of it thinking that it was the real deal. I've been using that website's product for so long now, so why is it only damaging my skin now? This is all just a bad coincidence, right? Before all those products must have been the real deal, right? That must mean that even now the product I used has been real. And that it's just the stress causing this breakout.
What? So you've been using this same product for a very long time then, huh? That must mean that low-quality trash is perfect for your skin, and this time you used something that was real and it didn't match your skin.
Excuse me?
Well, it's fine for you to keep using the trash product. I mean, somebody's got to buy it or else it will all go to waste. You must be so happy to know that the cheap stuff works for you. And I think I'll continue to use this cheap perfume you got me since it hasn't bothered me so far. I actually looked into that perfume you got me and its parent brand is a lot higher end. So that's why it's been made so well and is healthy for me to use. You really did a great job looking for this perfume for me, and I think I'll start buying the parent brand since I know my body won't react to it. Thank you, Brooke.
You need to stop it with all of that horn tooting right now. You have no right being this happy over all this. You're the freaking ugly loser, so you don't get to be happy about something that makes me miserable.
I'm not trying to be happy about something that's made you upset. I just wanted to let you know that you can keep saving money with that fake product. And that I will be able to buy some high brand stuff here really soon. Let's both you and I keep doing our best to take care of our beauty, okay? Ah, but before you can join me, make sure to get that rash or whatever treated. You are way too beautiful to keep that rash on your face, so get it treated soon, okay? We wouldn't want you making everyone around you having to look at that disgusting rash on your face. Good luck! After that, both Ben and I were able to give our wedding and it went over very well. But as for Brooke and her terribly rashed skin, it only continued to get worse and worse. She never did end up coming to the wedding because she kept crying about how everyone would laugh at her because of her skin. But everyone at the wedding had a different excuse for her not showing, and that was that she was too afraid to appear in front of all those that yelled at her, and that's why she ran. She tried to explain later to those that still talked to her that her skin really was having a horrible outbreak, but nobody would believe her. However, when she went to go see how much the treatments would cost her, it was way more money than she expected, and she couldn't even get anyone to support her this time. As of right now, she's working overnight at a factory in town trying to save up money for her treatments, and is doing so while wearing a mask to cover up her ugly mug.
Deanna, hurry it up and get out of bed. I would really like to eat some sweets right about now.
Huh? Do you have any idea what time it is right now, Autumn?
It's 3 a.m, but I want to eat something sweet. Right now, the baby in my belly is asking to eat some strawberry shortcake, so I, as her mother, I have to get her the shortcake that she's asking for.
I'm sorry, but there's no cake store in town open at this early in the morning, okay?
I'm fine with one from the grocery store, so get one of those for me. And make sure that the cake is a strawberry shortcake, please. Not a chocolate cake or a cheesecake, but a strawberry shortcake, all right?
I'm sorry, Autumn. I'll go out and pick you up a cake in the morning, but right now I'm trying to sleep.
Huh?
I had to be out late for work all night, and I'll have to be back to work all day tomorrow as well. So I really need to catch some sleep right now. I'm sorry.
I am not playing around right now. Your sister-in-law is telling you that she wants to eat some cake right now. I don't give a crap about how hard work is going for you recently. So shut your mouth and go to the nearest store and get me that cake.
Then I'm going to ask Brent to go do that for you. He's told me that tomorrow is his day off, so...
If he has the day off tomorrow, then he needs to get his sleep right now, so leave him be. There is no reason for you to be waking up my little brother right now. I have asked you to go and get me that cake, so do so right now.
There's no way I'm doing that right now. I am way too sleepy and just want a few more hours of sleep.
Make sure to hurry it up so that my baby isn't kept waiting too long. And if you're not back soon, I might already be asleep again and my baby will starve. And with that cake, can you also get me some orange juice?
I'm sorry, Autumn, have you seen my purse and wallet anywhere recently? This morning when I was at the market, I went to go and pay for the food and my wallet and everything wasn't in my bag. Now that I think about it, last night you were looking through my bag, right?
Sorry. I totally forgot to give you back your purse and wallet. It's in my room right now, so come and grab it later.
Huh? Why are both my purse and wallet in your room right now?
I was just wanting to use your credit card a little yesterday. Recently, I have been so stressed out. But after doing some major shopping online, all that stress has gone bye-bye. But I'm done buying all the things I wanted, so you can have your things back now.
What? You used my credit card to go shopping online for yourself?
I did that because the doctor has been telling me to do my best to not get stressed while pregnant with the baby. So thanks to your money, I was able to do just that.
Could you please tell me how much you spent last night?
I wasn't really paying attention to how much I was spending, all right? But I got a lot of really expensive makeup, some nice designer clothing, and of course some things for the baby as well. And I made sure to buy some really expensive foods.
You spent quite a bit then, huh?
Maybe a couple grand. But this month you should be getting a bonus, so you don't have to worry.
I should be worried about all of that. Please pay me back for all the things you bought on my credit card later.
Huh? Why do I have to pay you back for all the things that were paid for on your credit card? I would have just used all my own credit cards had I known you would want me to pay you back.
What? So you actually think I'm going to pay for all that?
Well, of course I do. I mean, you are my sister-in-law after all, right? You have to be willing to pay for things your older sister wants.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Do I have to pay for all your things just because you are my older sister-in-law?
You sure do have to pay for me. What are you trying to get at now, Deanna?
I understand that during pregnancy, it's not good to be stressed out. But if you think buying things online is a good way to remedy your stress, then maybe you should be using your own cards. Autumn, you have that credit card from your husband, right? He told you that you can use it on whatever you need while being back home with your mom and dad, right?
What I have in my possession right now is my husband's family's card. In other words, that means my husband would have to pay for whatever I'm spending. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to throw away all that money my husband has been working so hard for. That's meant for my baby.
What?
But when it comes to using my sister-in-law's money, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm above you in this family, therefore your money is mine. I can use your credit card on whatever I'd like.
What kind of reasoning is that? Between you and I, neither one of us is above one or the other in this family. You and I are equals since we are both sisters-in-law. You think I'm below you because I'm your little brother's wife and that you're above me because you're older? And that allows you the right to use my card without my permission? That's not a good enough reason for that.
You're really getting on my nerves with all that talking. I wasn't using your money to mess with you in any way, all right? I needed to get rid of the stress I had last night in order to not harm the baby. That's why I used your card, so I have every right to use your card. I came home in order to be treated nicely by all of you while I'm pregnant.
What?
Since I've come all the way back home to my parents' home to have my baby, that means all of you have to be there to support me. And in your case, you are not even related to my family by blood, and also you're the youngest wife. But you are living in my parents' house as well, so that means you have to be the one to support my needs the most here. And this time, to support me, you had to help me get rid of that stress. So you're telling me no matter how much you plan to use my credit card without asking, and no matter how much you ask for my support, and no matter how many times you ask me to go out in the middle of the night to get you food, I can't complain about it? Because I'm not related to this family by blood and because I'm the youngest wife? That's right. But I'm sure someone without the experience of carrying a baby would never be able to understand me. Being stressed out during a pregnancy is some of the worst feelings you'll ever have. Now, I've gotten a little bit sleepy, so I'm going to take a small nap. Good luck at work today, okay, Deanna? I have had it with her, Brent. Go and talk to her right now, Brent.
Huh? What's happened this time, Deanna?
I have been telling you about her this whole time, right? About how your sister has been treating me in such a terrible way, and her attitude towards me just grinds my gears. She doesn't give two craps about how I feel about any of this and keeps going on and on and on with all of that. Today she even told me that she used my credit card last night and spent a couple grand on it without my permission. That is way too much money.
Wait, are you serious?
And when I complained about it, she started to go on about how she did it in order to reduce her stress. And then she explained that since I'm the youngest wife in the family, she can do whatever she wants with me. I am not going to sit around any longer and let her keep doing things like that to me.
Well, listen. Calm down for me, will you? Look, I understand why you're so upset with her right now, but she's having a tough time right now, having to deal with being pregnant. So it's not her fault that she's become a little bit selfish under all that stress.
You call that a little bit selfish? She never tells me thank you for any of this even. And now she's gone and almost maxed out one of my credit cards. I had brought all of this up with your mother before, Brent.
What? What's my mum about it?
I had assumed that since she raised you, she'd be just as level-headed as you are. And since we are both in the same position, being women from other families, she'd understand me more. But when I began to explain to her what was going on, she started to act just like you are now. Telling me that it's not her fault for being a little selfish. Do you guys not see how much your sister is pissing me off right now? I'm being told by not one, but two people in this family that it's not her fault and that I just need to deal with it.
But, well, I could see that coming. As of right now, your only option is just to put up with Autumn.
So both you and your mom think I should just suck it up and let her continue to abuse me? You're telling me that from now on, no matter how ridiculous all the things she does to me are, I'm not to make a sound or raise my hands about it? Well, I'm sorry, Brent, but I've had enough of this. If nobody is going to be on my side during all of this, then I have an idea.
I'm asking you to please calm down for me. I see that you have had a lot of stress dealing with my sister. It's pushed you pretty far, but you're taking things way overboard now.
Huh?
Who cares that she used your credit card a little bit? That helped to get rid of some of the stress that she had, so who cares, right? That means that couple grand of yours she spent was to help the baby stay safe. I think $2,000 is totally worth it to ensure that the baby comes out happy and healthy.
What did you say?
When it comes to being pushed to your limits, like you are now, that's the perfect time to grow into an even better person, right? I'd read about something like that in this self-improvement book I bought just a while back. So, I think you just have to keep with it, and you'll come out of this a better Deanna.
Are you being serious with me right now? Your wife is having the worst time of her life right now, and you've only got that to say to me?
Well, my break time's almost up now, so I'm going to have to get back to work. I'm sure that someday, when you're pregnant, you'll be able to understand how she's feeling. So until that time, just be quiet, try your best.
Hey, Deanna, I heard about you tattling on me to my brother and my mom. You had been telling them about how I'm such a selfish woman who doesn't care about your feelings?
I never said that. But I did make it very clear to them that I was tired of being taken advantage of by you all the time. I understand that you are stressed right now from being pregnant, but you are not going to use that as your reason for treating me like I'm some kind of slave to this family.
Wow, why are you being such a witch now? Are you not going to help out your sister-in-law even though she is going through so much pain having to carry this baby? And you got my mom and brother involved in all this now?
Well, beware that even though I went and talked to them about this, neither one of them seemed to care. So that was a total waste of time for me. No matter how much I tried expressing my concerns to them, they both told me to shut up and deal with it. So it seems nobody is really that worried about me.
And that was totally right of them. I mean, this is my family's house, right? Not your family's house. No matter how much stress you're having, my family will always care for me first. I just got a message from Brent a little bit ago saying for me to not worry about what you're saying and to do as I please with you.
Is that right?
And even my mom has been saying the same things to me. Which means from now on, with the power of my family backing me up, I'm going to use you as the slave you are to all of us. I'm the daughter of this family, and all you are is my little brother's stupid wife. So you are going to shut the hell up, and you are going to be the slave I've always wanted you to be. And if you ever try going against me and tattling like that again, I'm going to have my brother divorce you.
We're already divorced, though.
What?
So that would mean I can go ahead and ignore you now. I no longer have to be your slave, and I'm free to do as I please now. And as for the money you stole from me, I'm getting it back from Brent. I really don't care how much you think I'm being a total witch right now, because I am no longer a part of your family and have nothing to do with you.
Wait a second, please. What do you mean you're already divorced from Brent? When the hell did you and him get a divorce?
I just got divorced from him only a second ago. I asked my work if I could take the rest of the day off. Then I made a sprint over to the courthouse and handed in the divorce paperwork I had.
Huh? Just a few seconds ago?
I have recently been carrying those divorce forms with me every day to work. And of course, I made sure that your brother was aware of that as well. So please don't think that I did this all without him knowing, because he was the one to fill out and sign his parts.
But why have you been holding on to divorce paperwork that both you and Brent signed, huh? Does this mean that for a while now you both have been at arms with each other? I never knew about any of it, but you both have been talking about divorce for a while then?
Before you came back to your parents' house, he and I had a very healthy and loving relationship. There was never a time that he and I brought up getting a divorce. But for the longest time, I have held on to a copy of our divorce papers signed and ready to be handed in. When he and I moved into his parents' house, he and I signed them.
Huh? When you moved in with my parents?
Your father had passed away and your mother was left to live alone, right? Well, your brother said that as her son, he wanted to live with her long term. He even begged me to stay in this house longer with your mother and got on his hands and knees to do so. But in the end, it was too much anxiety for me to want to live with your mom long term. It was all right when your father was around, but her by herself, ugh. But to convince me that I would be completely fine living here long term, he signed a divorce form and told me to do the same, saying that he would make sure my life in this house with your mother and him would never make me want to get a divorce. He told me that the signed paperwork was meant to show me that I could trust him and to act as a sort of incentive for him to keep being a good husband.
What?
So after seeing him hand me the paperwork, I had no choice but to say yes, and he showed me he really wanted my trust to live in this house longer. But seeing him now, I think he's totally forgotten about the divorce papers he signed. Because recently, I have really wanted to divorce him. He told me back when he handed me these papers that he'd never make me want one, but here we are.
So you've handed in those papers already, right? So you've really gone ahead and ended the relationship you and him had?
Yes, because I don't need a man in my life who forgets how to take care of his wife. And so because of that, I no longer need to listen to you. I will no longer listen to your selfish crap any longer, so keep it coming and waste that time. I'm no longer listening, and your excuse of being pregnant isn't going to gain you any leverage anymore. You really think you can talk back to me like that now, do ya? I'm a bit surprised that you've already divorced Brent, but it has nothing to do with me. If anything, having you get the hell out of the house now will put my stress level at 0. If you've really gone and divorced him, then get going and leave my parents' house. What's that? I'm not going to be leaving this house. After all, your parents' house is now mine. What? What the hell did you just say? There's no way this house is all yours now. It belongs to my mom now. Well, if you didn't already know this, recently my name was put on this house. Both the house and the land it's on are both under my name now. So in other words, this place is mine. Huh? What do you mean your name is on it now? My mom got both the house and the land from my father when he passed away. So why the hell do you think you have your name on all of it? Well, your mom happened to change the name on both the house and land to me. What? My mom did that? It wasn't just your brother that changed after you came back home to have the baby. Your mom used to be very kind to me and saw me as her real daughter. But the moment you came back home, she changed for the worse like Brent. And now she's just like you, asking that I shut up and do all that you ask me for. But before you came back, your mother had put my name on this house. She told me that things like the taxes and payments on the house were too much for her to deal with and asked that I handle them. And in order to kind of force me into it, she changed the name on the place to mine. What? Are you for real? So that means with this divorce, all of you need to get out of my house. So you all get together and start gathering your things before I have you all out of this place. Because starting today, that house is now mine. The rest of you no longer have the right to live there.
Hey. Diana, you're lying about handing in those divorce papers, right? I just got a random call from my sister who seemed to be very freaked out by you saying something like that to her. There has to be some kind of misunderstanding here, or at very least a joke.
When it comes to the divorce paperwork, I really did hand them in. It was the same papers that I've held on to this whole time. So, starting today, you and I are no longer a couple.
What? Wait a minute. Why'd you hand in those papers like that all of a sudden?
You thought this was out of nowhere? I told you earlier that I'd been approaching my limit with everything, right? But as I kept coming to you for help every time, you grew closer and closer to your mom and sister. You seemed to not care anymore about the way I felt, and I could see that wasn't going to change. So that's why I got this divorce.
What the hell? You handed in our divorce papers just because you're mad with my sister. And you're going to say the divorce was justified because I didn't care about your feelings. We're not freaking kids anymore, so you can't say things like that as your reasoning. Are you a freaking idiot or something? Why would you use that reason for ending the love that we both had with one another?
The only idiot here is you, Brent. I was begging for your help, and yet you ignored all my pleas. So don't blame me for wanting a divorce after seeing you leave my side. You need to be blaming yourself for doing things that led me to want a divorce.
But that was because my sister's pregnant right now. I want to think about the baby she has and all the pain she has to go through.
Well, if you happen to care about her and the baby more than your own wife, I'm glad we got this divorce. Now you can focus all your attention on her and the baby and never have to worry about how I'm doing. I think we should both be happy about the divorce.
What?
Now, by the end of today, I'd like you to have all of your things together and be ready to leave the house. I'm going to stay the night somewhere else tonight so that I don't have to come home to you all crying and whining. When I'm back home tomorrow, not one of you better be in the house still, all right?
Wait a sec, please, Diana. I actually didn't know your name was put on the house either by my mum. Can you please at least give my mum back the house and the land? I'll accept the divorce, but please don't take the house. It's not yours to have.
No way, Brent. I don't have to give you anything back.
Huh?
I'm not as nice of a person as you think. If you were a better husband to me, then maybe I would be giving you the house and land back, but you weren't. So I'm going to meet you at your level, and I'm going to keep the place.
You kidding me? Then this means we'll really have to leave the house. My sister's supposed to be having a baby next month. My mum's turning 60 years old this year.
I am not going to care about what happens to those that never bothered to care about what happened to me. Now that's all I have to say. Since this is my first divorce, I think I'm going to have something nice to eat for dinner as a celebration. Deanna, please, help me, please. Do something about this situation right now. What was that? Why are you still talking to me? I'm just about to get back to my house here. I'm sure you've all gathered your things up and are out of the house right now. And now I'll finally have a place to myself again and can stretch my arms and legs out. Right now we've all gone back to my house. We realized that I was no longer going to be able to stay there after what you said and came back here. And of course I made sure to bring both Brent and my mom here as well. Okay, so you're all back at your house now. But this house isn't big enough to allow my brother and mom to live here as well. I asked them to please go somewhere for the night and stay, but they won't leave me, and they keep blaming me for this all happening to them. So now they're forcing themselves to stay the night here, even though there's no other bedrooms. But it's true that a lot of this is your fault, right? So just let those two stay with you for a little while. Are you even listening to me? My house does not have the room for them. This place only has 2 rooms and a kitchen dining area, and very soon here I'm going to be having my baby. But by having everyone in the house with you, you'll have all the support you need during the last month of your pregnancy. That should make both you and your husband really happy now, right? My husband's not happy about any of this. He's freaking pissed. It's all because of you guys that I'm at the risk of getting a divorce by him. Really? He was shocked to see me burst through the door with both my mother and brother and all their things, and in a panic I explained everything that happened to him. And then he replied by saying it was insane of me to think that I could threaten you with divorcing you from my brother. And now he doesn't even want to talk to me anymore. The last thing he told me was that he can't see himself raising a kid with me. I think he's only being fair and honest with you. I think any sane person would react the same way he did. This cannot be happening to me. Right now, my husband is getting ready to go back to his parents, and he told me once the baby is born, he's taking it with him. He doesn't even want me to have any part in raising it. Well, kids usually take after their parents, and I'm sure it's not healthy for one to take after you. You happen to think it's all right to steal people's money, force them into being your slave, and threatening them with divorce. I think someone like you would be a terrible influence to any baby. But I'm the one that'll be giving birth to it, though. Yet he's going to take it away from me the moment it's born? And what makes all of this worse is neither my mom or brother will be able to meet it. He said the next time we talk will be when he comes to get the baby. Well, then you'd better hurry up and kick your mom and Brent out of the place. But no matter how many times I ask them to leave, they just won't go. They keep saying that they have nowhere left to go and that I'm the one to blame for getting them kicked out of your place. So please, for the love of God, help me, Deanna. I have no reason to be helping any of you.
Deanna, please let me come back into your life and let's become husband and wife again. My mum even said that she wants us back together, so please. I promise to never make you want to divorce me ever again, so please. Give me another chance.
There's no way I'm letting you back into my life.
Please don't say that to me. I can't live without you in my life.
You'll be all right. You'll be fine. You told me that you just have to stick with it during hard times and that after you'll become a better person, right? You read that book on personal growth already, so I'm sure you can handle things.
What?
Well, that's all from me. I'll make sure to take great care of your parents' old house, so don't worry. Now have a great time with the rest of your family. Due to all the stress that Autumn was feeling, she ended up having her baby 1 month before her due date, in other words, having a premature birth. And just as had been told to her, her husband came to pick up the baby after a few days in the ICU being cared for and brought it home to his parents' house. And ever since that day, Autumn has not been able to see her baby. When it comes to both Brent and his mother, they've both still not yet left Autumn's place. Autumn has tried plenty of times to beg them to both leave her alone, but their only response is asking for her to pay for their new housing. And then they finish their reply by saying it's all her fault that things ended up the way they did, and that she needed to take responsibility for it. From her husband, he later told her that things didn't look like they'd be getting better around her, and asked for the both of them to get a divorce. So, I guess we'll see if this is the end for Autumn and her husband, or if she'll be able to get the money to move her mom and brother out of her place.
Today's dinner was so much fun, Krista. The restaurant seemed to be very high class, and the food was amazing. If you ever go out again, please don't be afraid to invite my husband and I again, because that was a spectacular time.
And that's the thing. Do you think you can at least pay for your guys' food?
Huh? Why?
Well, because you guys happened to order a lot of extra drinks and appetizers today compared to everyone else. Extra caviar and the most expensive champagne they had. Just with those extra orders, you guys exceeded $4,000. And right now, Gage and I are a bit astonished by seeing that on the bill.
And what are you trying to say to me? Today was the day for you guys to celebrate getting married, right? If you guys plan to not even have a wedding, then at least celebrate by paying for all your family to be at that dinner with you. So don't expect a penny out of either me or my husband, okay?
And I can understand what you think, but we didn't even think you two could order that much extra drink and food by yourselves. It would have been fine if it was an extra basket of bread, but that was way too much tonight.
Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't think my husband and I actually spent over $4,000 on everything there. You only had a one-course meal ordered for us, and that wasn't going to cut it, so we just happened to have wanted a little extra food and drink to go along with it. And when we go out to restaurants we like to dine at, that same amount of food and drink would only cost us $200 at most. This is what happens when you try and make yourselves look big by reserving a fancy restaurant for us.
Are you saying it's our fault for reserving that restaurant, Mana?
That's exactly what I'm saying. My husband and I came today to celebrate my little brother and his wife. So don't get all upset about us being there if you're the ones that invited us in the first place.
Can you at least pay for a small portion of what you guys ate? We'll pay 80% if you guys can cover the other 20%. At least then we wouldn't have to cover that whole $4,000 for you two.
Stop messing around with me, Krista. It's because of you two getting such a fancy and high-end restaurant that I had to pay a pretty penny for all my makeup and hair to be done. Yet now you want us to pay more for just eating some food? We aren't paying a thing for tonight.
Really?
Maybe from now on, you guys should stick to chain restaurants or something casual if you don't want to pay more than $1,000 for everyone. Ah, right. How about next time you guys just host a party at your house for everyone? Have everyone that comes at least bring one food or drink with them, and then you won't have to pay more than $200 for the night.
A home party, huh?
We talked about it today during dinner. You guys are planning to move into an amazing apartment tower now that you're married, right? The views are amazing and the rooms are spacious. And when Mom and Dad went with you guys to check the place out, they had a ball. So when you guys are ready, we'll come over to play as well.
Well, if that's what you guys want to do next, I'll have to check with Gage first. I can't just choose these sorts of things on my own.
Well, we'll make sure to make time for whenever you guys are ready to have us over. When you both have a good date open, let us know. We'll bring some good food and alcohol over, and we can all have a fun night.
My dad just told me that him and Mom have made it back home safely. They said that today's dinner was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you for letting me know, and I'm happy to hear they both had a great dinner with us. And actually, just a bit ago, I was texting with Mana. She said she and her husband both had a great time as well.
Well, maybe that's due to the two of them going over the top with all the food and drink they ordered. When you asked them to pay for what they ate, did she take that well?
She
told me she has no intention of paying for it. I asked for them to at least pay a portion of the bill, but even then she told me they already paid enough just to be there for us. And then went on to tell me that asking for money from them now is just not right.
Dang it. And I guess that $4,000 is all going to have to be paid off by us. I'm sorry for my stupidly selfish sister. I'll make sure to pay for all they ate with my savings.
No, you don't have to do that. We both invited them to be at the dinner, so I'll pay for half of that. Anyway, Mana also said that she'd like to come to our new apartment to hang out sometime, and wondered if we could do a home party and all.
What? She invited herself to have a home party at our new place?
Well, talking about today's dinner led us to starting a new conversation about the apartment. And that's when she said that she wanted to come over and play.
She must have heard about Mom and Dad coming with us to check the place out last time. And since they all seemed to be really interested in the apartment, they always commented about it throughout today's dinner.
And that's what got Mana really into coming over to see the place firsthand. She said she and her husband would bring some food and drinks, and we could all have a party there. What should we do? Should we have a party, and when?
No, I'm not going to let her and her husband into this new apartment. You can just forget about her ever asking about a home party, because it's not happening at our place. Next time, if she says anything about it, tell her I said no.
Huh? You don't want either of them coming over to our place? You let your mom and dad come.
I have a hunch that when she comes here, she'll try to steal something from us, and I'm not letting that happen. So she's not coming in. And if she does come in, we'll lose some things and never see them again.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I know that you can see it in them, but my sister and her husband are both very selfish and will do anything and take anything they please. You could say that she's jealous of what others have, but too cheap to buy her own things. But I know that if she comes into our house, she'll leave with her hands full of our things.
Are you serious?
When I was living on my own, she came over quite often to hang out with me. She'd say that she was in the area shopping and wanted to stop over at my place and take a rest. But when they'd leave my place, I'd start realizing I was missing some of my things.
Are you sure you're not just mistaking some things?
I made sure to check everywhere for my things before accusing them. I started to notice that my toilet paper would disappear. But as time went on and they got worse and worse, I started to notice my clothing has gone missing and things like that.
What?
Even the t-shirts that I collected from those metal concerts I've gone to were missing. And one time when her husband came over, I saw him taking my things. Of course, I confronted them about it right then, but then they told me that they were just borrowing things before they ran off with them. And ever since then, I've gotten nothing of what they borrowed back.
That's really terrible of them, though. Even if you're family, that shouldn't mean they get to have all your things.
And that's the reason why those two are not allowed in our new apartment. And this place isn't just mine, but ours, and we have a lot of things here. I'm at least a little used to having some of my things stolen, but if they start stealing your things too, I'd break.
I get that, and I'm not too happy about any of that either. And I guess we're not going to be having a house party with them then. And even besides that, we'll make sure not to let her or her husband into our place.
Yeah, let's do our best with that. I'm sorry, Krista. My family has all sorts of problems. If she says anything else to you about it, tell me right away. I'll make sure to handle them for you, since she's my sister after all.
Krista! I decided to come over to hang out, but why are you not here? Are you guys out of the house somewhere? Wait, Mana? I bought some beers to bring over, so I'll put those in the fridge for later, okay? We can have them all when everyone's back here. The fridge? Hey, slow down a second there. Don't tell me you're in our apartment right now. You never ended up letting me know when we could come over, so I decided to let myself in. We already knew that Mom had a set of keys to the place. So after going to their house after dark, we grabbed the keys and came here to let ourselves in today. What? But that's breaking and entering, right? What are you talking about, Krista? We are your family, so we don't have to worry about things like that. But before we talk any more about that, can you tell us where you both went? It's the weekend now, so we had planned to come and have drinks with you both.
We're on our honeymoon right now. I told you earlier that we'd be going to Europe today for our honeymoon and that we'd be back sometime later, right?
Huh? Is that so? I feel that you did tell me that one time, but I guess I forgot. But back then, while you were still around, you should have invited me, so I was a bit disappointed in you for that.
You were disappointed? I had some feeling that day you really wanted me to ask for you to come over, but...
Really? And that's because I did want you to ask me over. Yet now that I decided to let myself over, you both happen to be out of the country.
I don't even want to go home now.
I guess until you both get back, we'll just have to live here.
What?
And just as Mom and Dad said, this place is super spacious.
It's like living in the dream world, being up this high in the apartment tower with all this nice interior.
I think we'll be taking this place over from now on. I think it's been long enough now, so why don't you engage, just hand this place over to his big sister?
There is no way we'd ever do something like that for you. Don't say such stupid things and just hurry up and leave our apartment, okay? Entering into someone's house without asking is trespassing, and that's not good.
I told you, it's fine. We're your family, right?
Oh, I just found some really high-quality steak in your guys' freezer.
A5, huh? That's pretty expensive, isn't it?
You and my little brother sure have lived the dream life here. Please stop going through our freezer like that.
What is all of this?
Some really expensive-looking wines and the most amazing-looking cheese. I'm going to open these all up right away. I'll make sure to leave you guys those cheap beers in exchange for this lovely wine, okay? I am telling you to please stop, Mana. You can't go into someone else's house and start eating and drinking all their things like that.
What?
What is this? What are all these really high-end pieces of jewelry you have here? These are those types that were only sold a limited time and were gone within days, right? Hey! What are you at now, fishing around like that? Do not just go into our room looking through all our things, please. I heard that these things can sell for a lot online right now. My God! I just put one of them up for sale and it's already been sold. And I just made 3 times the original amount of it. This is amazing here. You have to be joking. Did you just sell one of my pieces of jewelry? It's fine. I'll make sure to give you half the money I received, okay? And the other half will go to me for going through all of this work. Stop all of this right now, Mana. Doing all of this after breaking into our house is not okay. If you are not out of that house in 1 minute, I'm calling the police.
What?
Were you not listening to what I just said a second ago? My husband and I really like this apartment, and so from here on out, it's where we're going to live. So this is no longer your guys' place to call home anymore. Excuse me? You guys don't have a place to come home to now. You guys still have some time on your honeymoon to start looking for a new place to live. We never planned to go back there.
Huh?
Actually, a few days before we went on vacation, Gage and I moved out of there. And so we haven't been planning on ever going back there once we're done on our honeymoon.
You moved out? Then whose place is this right now? And the key that Mom and Dad had still allowed us to get in.
Normally when someone moves out, the company that owns the tower will change the lock, right? Well, the next couple to be moving in is close to us, and so we saw no need having all the locks and keys changed out. After all, we were handing that place over to your mom and dad to live in.
What? My mom and dad?
Actually, we had been talking with them about this. They told us before that they really did love our apartment a lot. And when we told them that we had planned to move out at some point, they asked if they could have it next as their new home.
Their new home?
Well, the house they had was getting really old, and they were first thinking of remodeling that house.
But during that time, they came over and saw our new apartment, and that's when they became interested in wanting to live here. But having them look for a tower apartment of their own to move into can be pretty stressful. And so your brother and I started thinking that maybe they could move into our apartment. And so in the end, we decided to have them take our place and move in. And they really liked that idea and thanked us for it.
What the heck?
And also, recently, you have been a pain in the butt. So we had the idea of moving out on our minds for a month now. And so, since we both had been wanting to move and your parents really wanted this place, we gave it to them in turn for whatever money they got for that old house so that we could get a new place to live. And that's why we were able to move out of there right before we took our honeymoon and have a new place to live.
So then that means... Wait a sec. So right now, this isn't your guys' apartment, but my mom and dad's?
Yep. Your parents wanted a more relaxed life, and living there would give them that. And so that steak and wine and cheese that you just happened to eat and drink all belonged to your mom and dad. And that high-end piece of jewelry you just sold belonged to your mom. And I remember her telling me that she always had to take days out of her life waiting to buy those for herself.
Huh? You're lying, right? What should I do? I didn't know this all belonged to my parents now.
And it seems your mom and dad are close by going on a walk right now. And when I called them and let them know of this, they said they'd start walking home right away. So they should be there any minute now to see you both.
Oh, crap! Crap, crap, crap! Right now the doorbell is going off like crazy. Mom and Dad are going to be so pissed with me for this.
Well, Gage and I are on our honeymoon trip, so I'm going to have to leave you with them now. Make sure to apologize to them both, okay?
Help me, Krista. Do you think you can let us come stay with you for a bit?
Huh? What happened to you?
My mom and dad kicked me out of their apartment. I tried so hard to apologize to them for everything, but they were both so frustrated with me that they wouldn't listen to a word I said. And they ended by saying they never wanted me around them ever again. But my husband and I had planned to live in that apartment, right? And so the apartment we had before, we gave up before coming over to that tower apartment.
Man, you really did plan on taking our apartment away from us.
Right now we're trying to make it work without a house, but I can't do it any longer. And another thing, right? I was fired from my job. But with the amount my husband brings in, we cannot live like this, and we have no savings. And without any money, he and I can't find a place to rent.
And having to move into someplace new does cost a lot of money and time, right?
So, if you can please let us stay with you until we have enough money saved up, that'd be much appreciated. Let us know where you guys moved away to. You guys have to be back from that honeymoon by now, right? So please, let us live with you guys for a while in that new place.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that. After telling Gage about what happened recently and the history he's had with you, I don't think I'll ever be able to allow you guys around our house.
But we are family, aren't we? And even if we're in-laws, I've always seen you as my little sister. And you can see that your older sister is struggling right now, so just shut up and let us stay with you. If you don't, I'm no longer going to be friendly with you.
Actually, I'm totally fine with you and I never seeing each other again. And if you think you're struggling right now, I'd rather not let you over here, or else you'll make Gage and I struggle with you both as well. And I get that you think I'm your little sister, but in reality, I'm your husband's boss. And so, really, I have control over what happens with you both.
Huh? You're my husband's boss?
So no matter how much you think you and I have been close, I'm not thinking of us the same way. He's my employee right now, and I don't want to have a personal connection to his family when at any moment I might need to fire him.
Huh? Wait, what did you just say?
We had talked about this during my dinner a while back, but I suppose you both were drunk off of that champagne, and so you never heard me talking about being your husband's boss.
You guys really work for the same company? What the hell? This is the first time I'm hearing about any of this.
And the company we work for isn't all that big, so when I got married, he knew about it pretty quickly. Word began to spread then about how him and I would be related, and
that would mean he would be my subordinate, even though he's my family, and that's against company policy. So the plan was that after I had gotten married and was back in the office, he would have to change departments. And so, actually, he's been left with another manager in charge of him.
Wait, what? Why do you get to be above my own husband in that company? My husband is older than you, right?
But I happen to have a lot better of an education, and I've done a lot more for this company.
Huh?
This company is relatively new, and so things like age and gender play no part in who becomes management here. And so those who actually put in the work and are educated in what they do get to move up.
So, wait, that means you're saying my husband pretty much sucks at his job there?
Well, to be honest, yes. And I have to say, I'd never really want to consider him my employee or anything. Just be aware that when I'm back, things will become a lot more strict for him. I don't want him thinking he can just keep getting away with slacking off while he has a bunch of work to get done.
What?
I've heard from a lot of the other leaders in this company about him. They say he's never wanted to get anything done right, and he's always on his phone or at other people's desks talking with them. That's probably the reason someone like me was able to become a manager here, and he had to stay put.
Huh? Wait, you... Just because we're family doesn't mean you get a free pass to start talking about my husband that way. I promise you that he will not take all that talk lightly. He'll make sure to surpass you in no time there.
And that would be awesome. But before he can do that, I think he'll be on the company's chopping block.
Huh?
According to others, he has been stealing some things from the company, and soon the company will have evidence of all that to work with. And since you've been fired, and so will your husband here soon, you both will be stuck in a pretty crappy lifestyle.
Excuse me?
I'll just say this for your sake, but remember that even though you guys will have nowhere to go, you cannot break into other people's homes. They might really call the police on you both, and that wouldn't turn out well. Now, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye! After all of that, the following day, Mana's husband was brought into the HR office and had quite the talking to. They had evidence of him stealing things from the company, and he replied by telling them it was his wife by asking him to bring those things back to her. He would then say he shouldn't be fired for listening to what his wife wanted, but they replied by saying his work ethic is also poor and he never seems to do anything but talk to other employees all day. And that day, he was kicked out of the office building and told to never return, along with having to pay the company back for the list of things he'd stolen, totaling out to $750 of things. And then after that, those two ran crying back to Mana's mom, trying to get her to understand them. But she didn't have any of it when she learned that they were causing problems for everyone, and not just the family. And then followed up by telling them they were no longer family. And that was the end of them ever having anything to do with us, and that was great news to Gage and I. And when trying to ask friends to let them stay at their houses, they'd tell them to stay away because they didn't want their things stolen either. This led to those two finally giving up on trying to rely on others, and so they started to look for work so they could start back over from square one. So right now, the both of them are working for a 2-star hotel outside of town where they also live. And all I can say is my husband and I are praying that they don't do anything stupid there to get them to lose their last remaining hope.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.